All right, we are back with more Local 4 Plus Live, everyone, and it's time for the conversation that we've all been waiting for. Now, losing weight is often a common New Year's resolution, but there may be an overlooked component that can be helpful on this weight loss journey. Could the reason that you're having difficulty losing weight because you're not drinking enough water or have something to do with your water consumption? Well, here to tell us more and explain all of this is Dr. Ilya Skolnikoff, author of the Skolnikoff Method, New Medicine for a New You. Dr. Ilya, thank you for joining us this morning.
I really appreciate your having me. I'm really thrilled out of my mind about talking to your audience about water and weight loss.
Okay, so what is the average person missing when it comes to the link between water consumption and losing weight? What is it that we don't understand?
Okay, this is one of my favorite subjects. Thank the Lord that I wrote a whole book about not this only subject, but a variety of subjects about weight loss. The book is called uh, The Skolnikoff Method, New Medicine for a New You, Inflammation Solutions Handbook. And I have more than a chapter that talks about water because your body is mostly made out of water. You see, even though only 75% of your cells in your body are made of water, on a molecular level, it's about 98%, 99% water. So if you're drinking the wrong type of water, or you're not drinking water often enough, or you're not drinking enough water, then you run into a lot of difficulties. Let me just give you a couple of examples and then go ahead and ask me or interrupt anytime you'd like, interject, I should say. So, a lot of people want to put things in their water to make their water better, or they want to take water that came from the Almighty God, and then they want to make it into something better than what God made it. So, for example, people will put cucumbers in their water, or they'll put little things like little fruits and things like that, lemon rinds or orange peels or whatever, to make their water taste better. But the problem is that's no longer water. The water becomes too alkaline. As you can see, I have a lot to say about this. The water becomes too alkaline, and then you end up being too alkaline. Now, we've heard this misinformation about most people being too acidic, and that can be true, but often our gut, at least, is too alkaline for many people who have health concerns, and that extra alkal in general, and that extra alkalinity can lead to infections like thriving of mold, yeast, fungus, and candida, all of which are very alkaline. Again, either way, if you're too acidic or too alkaline, it can be a problem. So a lot of people are adding things to their water. They're counting the amount of tea that they drink or lemonade or Coca-Cola or whatever as water, but those things aren't water. The other thing that people are doing is they're drinking a water that's just not so great because it's not really water anymore. Like reverse osmosis treated water has been damaged. So when I'm saying God's water, just to be clear, what I'm referring to is a spring water, water that comes from a spring, and then that can be filtered or boiled up to get rid of bacteria or whatever. And some of the bottled water companies, which we can go over today, they do this indeed.
Okay, well, let
They'll
me let me ask you this.
um,
You say that drinking water is vitally important. What does it do for our body?
oh, thank goodness you're asking the best questions. Tati, you must have prepared for this. Okay.
A little bit.
So there was a survey, or not a survey, a little study done around 2014, and the study showed that we can burn 2 to 3% more calories when we're drinking water, more water, when we drink enough water, the right amount of water, the right kind of water, and drink water often enough.
Mhm.
There was another, I might come back to you on this one again, but there was another study that showed in 2015 that if we just have about 250, maybe 300 milliliters of water before each meal, possibly after the meal, that will reduce calorie intake from beverages at least a lot, and that then leads to an extra maybe 13, almost 14, even 15% more weight loss. In other words, what I'm saying is point blank, cut and dry, stop having the Coca-Cola, the soda pops. I didn't mean to mention a particular brand, but stop having like soda pop. The most popular one is the one I just mentioned, but there's a whole bunch of them, right? We all know what they are. They tend to have sugar in them, and those have been popular for 50 or 60 or 80 years. For people who have trouble digesting their food, they like to have a little of that stuff with their meal. It's just
It's not the right idea. So you've talked about
No.
kind of some of the wrong things we can do to water, but let's talk about tap water. What's wrong with that?
Oh my God, you're going to get me started. This is great. You're giving me an opportunity to talk about the problems with tap water on TV. I gotta calm down. Let me calm down. Okay. Now, the reason why this is a touchy subject for me is I don't talk about this with everyone, but I do talk about it in my new best-selling book, The Skolnikoff Method, New Medicines for New You, Inflammation Solutions Handbook, which I'm plugging right now, which goes over the underlying causes of autoimmune disease, thyroid disease, mood disorders, hormone imbalances, leaky gut, that kind of thing. In the tap water, they found in about 27 different cities, that there's actually drugs in the water. Some of them are antidepressants. And they found this not just in the United States, but in different countries. So that's not good. Now, believe it or not, I used to work with a company, and they went out of business. But anyway, they were among the 26 fastest growing companies right around 1996, 97. And they sold water treatment. So I was selling water treatment. And they always had this slogan, buy a filter or be a filter. Because you don't want your body to be the filter filtering out all the garbage that's in the water. At the time, I didn't realize that I was being sold this way of treating the water that may not be for the highest good. In other words, it may be a little bit better to have filtered water than tap water, but not that much, because many of these filters, they just change the water, but the water's already damaged. So tap water has pesticides, herbicides, mildicides, insecticides, food stabilizers and food colorings, and food additives, chlorine, ammonia, a combination of the two, which is something called chloramine. It has trihalomethanes, that's like a gaseous substance, benzene, toluene, TCE, trichloroethylene, chlorofluorocarbons. It's got heavy metals. It's got the drugs, radioactive material.
So when you say drugs, though, let me ask you this. Is this from people throwing their drugs in the water supply? Like, how does that even happen?
It's unclear how it happens, but I'd say yes. So there's something called PUFA. There's this thing, this Teflon stuff, okay? And the Teflon is a chemical that can also be found in the water sometimes and all over the earth, as well as plastics. They found plastics in the Antarctic in this slime layer that's underneath some of the icebergs. Literally, they found many parts per million of plastics. So, obviously it's better to drink out of a container that's like glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. But my point is that they found the stuff in the water, and your question is great. I just don't have a clear, concise, definite answer. We just have a lot of these. It's okay. Go ahead.
I was saying we just don't know how it gets there, but it's there.
It's probably, yeah, I don't want to get into trouble. Like, I'm on TV.
We don't want to make 100% claims, but.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how these drugs get in the water, but different people have different exciting and thrilling and kind of more controversial things to say than I will. Let's just say that they definitely found them and they shouldn't be there. Okay. And
so what kind of water do you recommend then?
Okay, good. Thank you for saying that. The next exciting topic. You are awesome.
I love your energy. I love it. This makes me want to drink more water throughout the day. Literally, this is what we all needed to get us motivated.
Right on. So again, my book is actually being offered for only 99 cents on Amazon right now, just for your audience and every other audience all over the world. But, and I recommend this book, Water, Your Body's Many Cries for Water, by Dr. Batman Glij. It's hard for me to pronounce his name because I'm not Indian, but he's a great medical doctor who talks about water. He has another book called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. We're about to go over waters right now. Don't worry, I'm going to answer your question. I'm not gonna put it off. And then obviously there's my book. This is a water I just got. It's a spring water called Cascade Mountain Spring Water, and from Butte Falls, Oregon. So this one is fairly safe. It's coming in glass. It's a still water. By the way, I might show a carbonated water because I just got these waters a day ago, and I, I I wasn't able to find one of them in a still water. But anyway, it's better to be still water because they found that carbonated water can actually encourage bone loss. And it's not like my opinion or something. All the research shows this. It's a real thing. It's not me just trying to get excited about some weird thing. Okay, aquapana used to be made by come here, Dr. Skolnikoff. How come it's so hard for me to do this? Used
There
to
you
be
go,
made
right
by
there.
the Pellegrino Company. And the Pellegrino Company, I don't know if they make it anymore or not. But that's a really great water from Italy. Whole Foods, I don't know, they had a water that was okay, and it's still available. It looks like this. I know this isn't plastic, and this is going to bother you and your audience, I guess, but I'm saying it's best to drink water just out of the glass, ceramic, or stainless steel. So, with that being said, some of my patients find that they can still progress with the therapies that we do in our office or
Hmm.
even virtual therapies if they drink water out of a huge uh, plastic container just because they save money. But I don't encourage them to do that. They just do it, and it seems everything works. So I'm just going to go over that with your audience if you and your audience don't mind.
Sure.
So here's Crystal Geyser. That's not glass, so I know that. Okay. And I hope nobody's going to get upset at me or fire me from my career or something. And then I got a few more of these things. This is another non-glass container. It's called Trader Joe's Mountain Spring Water. I don't know what's going on with my Zoom, but I think you can all see it.
No,
It's
we
just
can see
not.
it. We can see it clearly. But here's another question I have for you, Dr. Ilya, and it is that a lot of people say that I
Should be
love Pellegrino. I love
should be a
Pellegrino.
still water though. Should be
Yeah.
a still water. Okay.
Okay. But a lot of people say they just don't like the taste of water. So, what can they do? That's where the, lemon slices and cucumber slices and berries in the water come from. What can they do to make it more palatable? Or do they need to train their palate to just enjoy the water?
Oh my goodness.
Put
I
you on the
didn't prepare
spot.
for
You're
this
like,
one.
just drink the water.
Okay. So if we look in Webster's dictionary, it says water should be a clear, odorless, tasteless substance.
Mm.
So if people don't like the taste of their water, they can just switch to another one of these waters. Where's my favorite one? Again, this should be a still water. They still have to spend a little more money, So we're talking a lot of this is about money. So you spend a little more money on like purely Sedona artesian spring water. Get the still water, not the sparkling one. And look, I'm not saying you can't have sparkling water like once every month or two or whatever. Just you should know and be aware, a little bit like myself, Dr. Ilya Skolnikoff, that indeed there is research showing that it's not good to have too much sparkling water. So
Mhm,
you just
mhm.
keep that in mind and don't like start gulping it down every day, by the gallon. Those are the main waters. There's another one here. So that's what I would do. I'd just switch from one brand to another and
Mhm.
just see, which one you like best because they
Yeah.
all are a little bit different. They all have different dissolved solids, meaning they all have different minerals in them. I mean, the Aquapana tastes quite a bit different than the Simply Sedona Artesian Spring Water, which tastes very different than um, the Crystal Geyser. And some people, they can benefit by having like a zinc supplement for a short period of time, like for 3 months, if they get a really high quality zinc picolinate from perhaps a company like Twin Labs, I don't know, or whatever company is a good company. It doesn't really matter what company. I'm not promoting a particular company, but that can help because you can't taste very well without zinc.
Mhm.
Um, so a lot of people are deficient in zinc. In fact, it's the most common nutritional deficiency. It's really a good idea to be under the care of a licensed healthcare provider when using any supplement. Uh, you don't want to just, diagnose yourself and treat yourself. Try to have a healthcare provider kind of advising you. But does that answer your question
It
or not?
does. It really does. And we're just about out of time. So I want you to let
Oh no!
everyone, I know the time went by so quickly, but how can people get your book? Now, you mentioned that you've got a special going on right now.
Okay, the way that they get my book is they just go to Amazon, and the way this works is they can also go to Skolnikoff.com. That's how you spell it there. I think you can see it. It's the Skoln like Nancy, Ikoff like Frank. So you can go to Skolnikoff.com and you can get it that way. But if you go to Amazon, you can get the Skolnikoff method for the digital version for just 99 cents. And yeah, I know I'm promoting my own book, but wow, you really, really need to get it. Oh, you see it there, the Kindle version. See
Yes,
that there? You're
exactly.
putting it on the screen for people?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's great because you'll have a couple chapters all about the water and how much water to drink and how often. But I don't even talk about all the things I did just now in the book. I don't talk about all these different companies and the different waters. I don't talk about drinking out of glass. This is Boss water, which is pretty okay, and or ceramic, like a ceramic container, or stainless steel. I mean, I talk about that, but I don't talk about the different companies. So believe me, we've gone over a lot today. This was really
We
exciting. I'm
have.
thrilled out of my mind. I'm going to go try to calm down, relax, uh, maybe
No,
have some patience with their.
we appreciate the energy. I mean, this motivates me to drink more water, and I'm sure producer Kari agrees as well.
I'm down.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Dr.
Right on,
Skolnikoff,
Kari.
thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for all your enthusiasm. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Remember to drink more water and get healthier so you can lose weight and feel great.
That's right. That's right. Thank you again.
I love that guy.
I love him.
I love
He's
him.
great. I mean, who's going to get you excited about drinking water, right?
Yeah.
Because I had to ask him the question. It's like, how do we make water more palatable? I think he wanted to say, drink your water, but I think he was very fair.
He tried, and the answer was drink water.
Drink the water.
Just
Switch the brands.
Yeah.
See which one you like.
like I'll talk for him. Grow
Yes.
up, drink some water.
Yeah, the doctor will say that to you. Kari will say that to you. Grow up and drink the water. No, absolutely. And I think that, no one breaks it down for you to that level, right? This
Right.
is how much of your body is comprised of water. This is why you need it. Everyone says, drink your water if you want to lose weight, but you should be drinking water all the time to keep
Yeah.
yourself hydrated as well. So that was some great information for all of us. So let's get back to a couple of our headlines, because I don't know how it happened, but